Let's see, what other ingredients can I get? I'm short on rice. I could get rice and then I could do some crab sushi. You miss a whole day and you don't have the freedom to spend the nights. Right? Well, I mean, I can close the restaurant at any time and open it at any time. But yeah, it's really hard to get rid of people. And I do feel like I'm missing a lot of nights. Which is a problem, because alcoholic ingredients you can only buy, well, you can make your own, or you can buy some from the bar. And the bar is only open at night. From deeply flawed to fairly solid, how would I rate the game? How would I rate the game? It's not either of those. Like, it is fun. It does take some getting used to. Like, I feel like the controls are a little bit weird. And all the systems are cool, but they're just not well implemented. Like, everything I do, it kind of annoys me in some way. Like, hunting here. Like, I have to shoot so many arrows to get one of these guys that, like, I really hate hunting for meat. Like, this isn't even like the beginning game bow anymore. This is the best bow I could find. I'm at like the end of the early access. And I have to shoot everything like 5 times, and it's not an easy shot either. You have to lead them, and sometimes they go up and down and you miss completely. But yeah, I have 7 out of 10. Because despite all the flaws, there's a lot of fun game here. I don't think I need this many elderberries. Let's get more meat. And for like 20 bucks, that's a reasonable price for what you're getting. The art style's kind of beautiful. Like, it does some things to you though. Like, it's kind of a depressing art style, really. Like, it's a cyberpunk Stardew. It's not bad, it's just a little weird. Hi Mariana, how are you doing? The star off from the customers, the exhaustion, and a few weird mechanics, right? Like, honestly, if they nailed every aspect of the game, it'd be like a 9 out of 10. Like, they had all the concepts there. But since, like, every single part of this game is just mildly annoying, and if the things that bother me don't bother you, this game could be great for everybody. Also, hi Mariana, how are you doing today? I remember you from last week, and possibly the week before. But like, if in like the last 365 days, Like, a better cooking game would have been Cuisinier. Like, it was just a better, more fun restaurant simulator. And if you're looking for, like, a cozy farming simulator, like, Echoes of Plum Grove was better than this. And so, it's not necessarily that this is a bad game. It's just that there's better choices out there. You know what cooking game I've really wanted to play? I want to play Battle Chef Brigade again. You saw that I made Kachaka in the end of the last episode, Kanchaka. Forgive me for mispronouncing the C with the accent mark in there. It is really good. It's made from sugarcane, and you have family members that produce it. It is the drink that makes caipirinhas. What? But in the game it says Kachaka, but is Chakaka. Well, I don't know. Oh, it makes the E sound. Chakasa. Chachasa. Chachasa. Okay. Chachasa. Do I have that in my pocket somewhere? Forget where I put it. But yeah. I was trying to figure out like what I could make out of sugar. I thought I was making rum and it turned out to be chachasa. I thought it sounded like really Portuguese. And so very Brazilian. Actually, I shouldn't say Portuguese because I don't know if they drink it in like Portugal. But it sounded like a very Brazilian thing. The first C is normal. The other is the sound of an X, and the C with the accent mark under it is the sound of S. The first C is normal. Caxasa is originally from Brazil. Okay, cool. I had a decent number of friends from Brazil. One of my college roommates used to teach Spanish, and I got to be friends with like the Romance language department. And so I had lots of friends who spoke Spanish and Portuguese, and I've forgotten all the other the languages. I think Italian's in there. What with Rome probably being where romantic comes from. You've noticed the words adding like C and other accent marks? I know why they exist and their function, but their introduction or reintroduction feels weird. Probably because you learned that the alphabet had many exceptions, more so than that the alphabet had indicators. Like, yeah, we could all try to like learn one of the global languages. The universal languages that people invented but nobody actually uses. I want to say like Esperanto is one of them. Funny enough, you speak better in English than in Spanish. That's fair. You do speak really good English. I've noticed that. Naive, for example. Naive with 2 dots over the eyes. The eye. The C is Cal C and Sedila. Oh. Hmm? Oof, it is It is too Friday for me to learn Portuguese, but... We also have the things like an A with a line over it and O with a line over it. Oh, called. The C is called Cedilla. Gotcha. If I pronounced that right. Oh no. I killed him out in the middle of nowhere. Now that tree is filled with meat. And there's nothing I can do about it. Piggy. Almost there, but is good enough. I want the meat. Imagine you walk into your backyard and you just see whole rotisserie chickens like hanging from the branches of the trees. That T-girl is gonna be so confused. Speaking of confused, did you just fly? You know what? I'm done with that pig. He's too fast. This pig, on the other hand. Used to have dots on top of letters, but you don't use anymore? Well... You know what, like, just before I started the stream today, I was thinking, like, nobody's ever gonna use words with accent marks in my chat, and so I banned a couple. Because there's this thing that happens, like, spam bots will pop into your chat, and they'll be like, buy the best viewers at this site, but they'll, like, put accent marks over random characters so that, like, you can't block the message directly. And I was like, you know what? This is a mainly English-speaking chat. Nobody's gonna type any accented letters, but, like... So I banned a couple of them, and now I realize I'm gonna have to, like, unban them. Because immediately after banning them, they pop up in chat. What are the odds? Never knew what Sadiha is called, so in the back of your mind, you pronounce that say for reasons you may have long forgotten. Like, we just don't teach Portuguese here in the US. Like, you have to go to college for Portuguese, and you have to specifically sign up for it. But, like, no college student's gonna do that because they've had, like, 4 years of Spanish in high school. I'm mostly impressed by my friends who decided to go for, like, Mandarin or something as a language to learn. Hello, buy my crypto here. See, like, I thought I banned that O. I don't know how you got away with saying that. Like, now means no. Or pow means bread. God, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. They don't teach a lot in the US. That's true. I'm like, I would really like to learn the history of other countries, and they're just like, can't, they never wrote anything down. And I'm like, but we know some things, right? Like, I'm really interested in, like, Shaka Zulu. He seemed like a cool guy. And they're like, no, you're going to learn that Columbus sailed over here and discovered America and was a very nice guy and no one ever complained. I'm like, I don't think that's true. I mean, I'll take the day off of work, whatever, but I just can't imagine he was a friend to all the people. I say that like I don't know that he was like despised and one of the most brutal colonials there ever was. But like that stuff didn't come up when I was in school. Like they just pictured like Columbus like sitting down with the Native Americans and having Thanksgiving and having a great time. Everyone's friends. You learn a lot of things in Brazilian schools about all the places. That would be nice. I just said pow, which is not the same as pow. Like, so EAU is pow. PA with I'm gonna call it an overscore. That is pronounced something different. So let's say pow. And that's what I'm going with. Final answer. Pow. Can't say for everyone else, but when you first learned about Columbus, they told us you're going to learn a lot of things about him that you're not going to like when you get into X grade, and just telling you now. Well, that's fair. They never told me that. But then again, I didn't go to a very good school. Like, I was from like a small mountain village. Like, my social studies teacher was also the biology teacher and PE teacher and volleyball coach. Also the principal and the dentist and the mayor. Like, I was doomed. It's a miracle I made it out of there alive. The name is Till. It's said like Anne, so Panu? That's the first time I've heard of an accent mark on a vowel turning into something that has a consonant? Or phonetically? That's neat. You guys don't have history and geographia? Let's see. So, not really. Like, even in college, like, the history requirements I had for general education was you can choose Western civilization, which they mean Europe, or you can do American history. But like, say Asian or African or Oceanic or like South American history, like it never came up unless you specifically signed up for those classes, and you can. It's just that nobody ever did. And even then, like, yeah, it's only college. And so if you really want to learn something about another culture, you have to, like, dedicate time to it. And there's a lot of people who do. Not gonna pretend that we're all dumb. Not really dumb, we're just ignorant. And there's a difference. We learn the bare minimum about some areas, mostly learn about states' history as a slow, boring crawl. It was boring. Like, I feel like I heard the same stories over and over and over again. Like, they never, like, updated it. It wasn't like they started with the 1700s and went to the 1800s and then the 1900s, like, in order. They were just like, here's all history. Prepare to learn it again next year. You learn all of that at school. You had 12 years to do so. We had 12 years to do so, but yeah. The American education system leaves a lot to be desired. And that's putting it nicely. That said, independent learning will get you a lot. I'm also trying to, like, send my kids to a nicer school so that they learn because we're paying extra so that they can do so. Like, public schools are basically garbage here. That's my personal opinion. Let's see. What do I have for ingredients? Got lots of meats. I should pick up some more crabs and rice. We'll do one more day of gathering ingredients. And then we can open the restaurant again, and we'll hire a lot more... Oh, what are they called? Chefs. I forgot the word for chefs. You got any recipes for me? No. Story. Can we talk in private? Good day to you too, Nadjet. Yeah, nice day. Birds flying. Let's go somewhere private and talk. Alright. I'm gonna get murdered. This will be easier in private. You see, I got a problem and I need help with it. I know, this isn't like me, but I got nowhere else to go. You see, before I worked for Aylin, I worked for the Colombo crime family out of Billboard City. I never inferred this from your demeanor and stories. What can I say? I'm a good actor. Subtlety, that's me. Anyway, I was in town yesterday and I was getting some groceries and I was caught by Damien, one of the heads of the family. You see, 2 years ago, the family had sent me to steal the deed to the bathhouse since it was abandoned and all. And I was in a different place in my life. I had nowhere to go, so I obliged. I wanted a home. But when I arrived at the abandoned bathhouse, I met Aylin. There was something about her. Someone who is scary, but deep down very kind, you know? She thought I was just some street kid and took me in. Even though I had just met her, I felt like I finally had a home. I never told her what I was doing here. I made sure that the family received a message informing them that I had died in an accident. Now my problem is me being dead is now, well, dead. Damien caught me. He told me that if I didn't steal the deed to the bathhouse and go back with him, he's gonna tell the Aylin about my past. What can I do to help? Good of you to offer. Anyway, Damien's a foodie. He only dines in restaurants run by great chefs. You picking up what I'm putting down? I figure I can bribe him with some fancy dinner made by ya. Hopefully I can smooth things over with a great dinner. One time and he's gone, right? I'm sure of it. He may be pissed at me, but this will work. I have him coming to La Sequoia tonight. Already got it set up. Once he's had something that knocks the socks off, he'll leave. I'll make him a great meal. Don't have a choice, do I? Thanks for this. Please prepare La Sequoia. I'll see you soon. Well, now. I can't even remember if it's morning or night. This has got to be night, right? Oh man, chat went off while I was reading story things. Americans, aka the States, call ourselves that because we literally the United States of continent. Very boring, and because of this, the states aren't very fond of state sovereignty. It's not often you'll see something like North Dakotan or Virginian, maybe Texan or New Yorker, but that's it. That's fair. It was longer than you'd like it to be. But you guys only learn about two Americas, North and South. Yeah, well, there's Central America too. Like, we don't talk about that. I mean, we basically stole Texas from Mexico. And we'll just pretend that didn't happen forever. The Caribbean, sort of, in Cold War fun? Yeah. The only thing we know about the Caribbean is that we get the sugar from there. And even then, we've moved on to high fructose corn syrup. Okay, but seriously, is it morning or night? I think it's morning. Alright, according to this quest, prepare La Sequoia to host Nadjet's dinner between 5 and 9. Menu featuring at least 6 dishes and seating for 4 guests. I feel like I have to do a good job. Does that mean I have to delete my entire restaurant out of the upper tier there? I think I do. Hey, you got any ingredients? You do. And recipes. Salmon with pumpkin puree, that's definitely a steak. Daikon radish fries, that is just diabolical. Don't do that. Whew. Don't use all my staff if the quest is only for 4 people. Oh, I'm gonna use all my staff. But no, you're probably right. I need to take all my decorations down, though, I feel like. The Paraguay War is interesting. I want to know that. Why didn't anyone tell me about the Paraguay War? I want to know about the Paraguans. Alright. I'm going to save the slot here. I'm going to save it as Tea House. And then I'm going to take it all down. At least most of it. And theoretically, I can just pop it right back up. Boy, I'm hating this. If only there was like a click and drag option. It's things like this that keep this game from being great, you know? Oop. I forgot to fire all my staff. You're just standing around in this empty room like, boss? Right, and I need all the ingredients as well. What's the recipe for the greatest thing I have? My epic cup cocktail? Whiskey, rum, sugar, lemon. So let's make sure I have that. Whiskey, rum. I don't have that much sugar, but I need the lemons. I still don't know if I have a recipe that involves... Keep the pineapple here. I never use the honey. Use lots of the cream, elderberries, wild tomatoes, wild carrots, chocolate, cheese, beef. Oh, and a million other things. You would search about the War of Brazil and Paraguay, as well as all wars. Yeah. Know a bit about Brazil, but nothing in depth, at least that you can remember, right? Yeah, Brazil did not come up in world history, weirdly enough. Which is weird. I've met about a Brazilian people from there. Brazil and Paraguay started a war over because of land? I mean, of course they did. Isn't that what we're always fighting over? Alright.